Hi, I'm Mary Lindsay Wilson, and welcome to the Lone Star Dowsers. Let's see, this is February 2026 program. Lots happening, lots happening. Let's make a few announcements here. Uh, we want to support our fellow dowsers all over the world. So every Tuesday, the Tucson Dowsers meet on Zoom, and there's an aid in relief from fires, drought, heat waves, floods, kind of just extreme. And it's only about a 15-minute Zoom. So if you want to practice your dowsing and be with like-minded individuals, it'll be in our newsletter. And we also have our friends from Australia that do a new golden era every Thursday night on Zoom at 7 o'clock our time. And they do healing for Australia and beyond. So they are anyway, wonderful things to contribute to. Let's see. If you find value in these programs that we put on, please consider donating to myself and to Emily, who is our techno goddess. And shout out to all the people that are at the watch party. Welcome. We are glad that you're here. And let's see, we've got, there's a lot going on, but basically, you guys might have felt an audible shift in the energy. We have now not only had an eclipse, but we've moved into the year of the fire horse. So I think it's going to be a very fast and a very powerful year. And we we want to know what we can do to keep up with the energy and instead of finding ourselves put out to pasture. So our speaker this month is Trisha Keel, PhD, and she's a Feng Shui Master and a great-granddaughter of a male water witch. She's going to explain our incoming energies and how we can dowse their effects in our environment and what we can do about it. So you're going to probably be drinking from the fire hose tonight. I'm just going to warn you. And hopefully you've had a chance to print out the wonderful Wheel of Fire dowsing chart that she created, and she's going to walk us through that process. Just to kind of give you a heads up on that and a little bit about our presenter tonight. She has a very long and impressive resume, so I just picked a few highlights. She's a Feng Shui master with over 25 years experience. She's served 2 years as the director of education for the International Feng Shui Guild. She's written and published over 30 books on Feng Shui, magic, sacred geometry, and more. And she also does a Feng Shui and moon magic calendar that she's done since 2012. She has her PhD in holistic life coaching, and she's a master teacher. She offers individual and group coaching that honors the spirit as well as the body, heart, and mind, and has an insatiable and vast curiosity for learning, and her library matches that. So she's got lots of incredible wisdom and gold nuggets that she's going to share with us tonight. So, welcome, Trisha. So glad that you are here, and I'll let you say hello.
Thank you, Mary. Thank you. That was really nice. There's nothing that makes a girl feel better than to have another woman say nice things about them. So I really appreciate that. I have been warning people, alerting people that the year of the green snake was going to slither away silently in the grass, and that the incoming energy was going to be shocking for people who were not prepared for it. The blast of a fire horse is a powerful thing. Um, you know that horses are large animals, and that the field of their heart energy is larger than they are. So while it's probably about, I mean, how long would you say a horse is from nose tip to rump?
I would
Eight,
say 8 feet
eight
easily.
feet.
Hmm.
So to double that from the heart point, 16 feet in every direction, up, down, left, right, forward, backward, that is their sphere of influence. So when you start walking up to a horse, the horse knows their heart feels your heart. They're a second ray animal. I'm sorry, they're a sixth ray animal. They are devoted to the ideal. So they are looking for humans who are pure of heart. And this year of the fire horse, you're gonna want to remember that horses are prey animals. Their eyes are situated on the side of their head so they can see what's coming at them. Humans are predators, so our eyes are in the front of our face so that we can attack. But horses can see all around. So this year, you're going to want to move forward with an energy that is focused, passionate, and bold. This is not a tiny little animal that's going to curl up in your lap like our kitties. This is a big, strong, fast-moving, powerful energy that has arrived, and it is going to affect everyone everywhere, whether they believe in it or not. Just like gravity is going to affect everyone, whether they believe in it or not. You don't have to believe in electricity to flip a switch and have the lights come on. It's just a matter of the energy situation. And you might notice that the weathermen are now referring to fronts, weather fronts, as energy fronts. There's a lot of energy coming in this evening, and there'll be thunderstorms and, high wind and all. They're using the words energy. If you're wanting to know more about the energy affecting the whole planet, I recommend that you pay attention to Stefan Burns. He spells his name Stefan and then Burns, which is perfect for the year of the fire horse. He is a geophysicist, and he's someone that will tell you the truth, and he is aware of astrology as well as astronomy and geology and all of it affecting each other. So everything is blended together. As you know, there's no way that you're not connected to everyone on the planet, because we're that tiny dot in space, and we're all here in it. So you can trust what he says, and he doesn't. I have not seen him pounced on by AI yet. He's got YouTube channels and stuff, but I have not seen him taken apart by AI. Anyway, so after Mary invited me to speak with you guys, being a dowser and being a Feng Shui master, I created for you this chart for the year of the fire horse. Now I have this. I'm going to share my screen so that you can see.
Well, maybe before we just jump quite into this, do you want to tell us a little bit about how you got involved in feng shui and dowsing?
Oh,
Just like the condensed version.
yeah. I'm trying. All of a sudden. Okay, so I I was spending time at my brother's home in the backwoods of northern Mississippi. That was almost 200 miles from the nearest Walmart. I mean, we were in the middle of nowhere. This is before the internet. And I was bored out of my mind, and I was reading one of my sister-in-law's magazines, Victorian living, like Southern living, only it was Victorian living, because they were in an antebellum home. And there was an article there about a hot air balloon company in California, down in San Diego, Dream Balloons or whatever. And I was reading this article, and they were talking about how Um, this hot air balloon company had all kinds of clients, but they were losing money, and they evidently in California, when you're losing money, you call a feng shui consultant. And so they called a feng shui consultant, and she came in and she evaluated the place and found out that their roof was leaking, and that in the bathroom, uh, which was in the wealth area of the business, the faucet was dripping and the toilet was running. And so, since water equates to life, that they were losing water like they were losing money. And she told the feng shui consultant, told them to get a roofer in here, get a handyman in here and get the roof patched and get your plumbing taken care of. And they did. And then they went to pay the guy, and the office manager was out to lunch, and they sat down and opened up the books to write a check to the handy guy and discovered that they had been embezzled by about $40,000. And I went, really? What's Feng Shui? And this is before there was only 2 books on the market. And the first one that I got was Tara Catherine Collins, Feng Shui. And then I got, hers was, wait a second. Yeah, Feng Shui Western style. And then I got Move Your Stuff, Change Your Life. And I went, oh no. But that was after I got back to Houston, where life existed and there were stores and things. And so I decided to just try it out, and tried it out, and um, blew myself away. I think I blew my husband away. That's what I did. That's a whole long story. But let's just say that very quickly, my husband came waving the bank statement at me, going, "Look at this! Look at this!" And what? And he said, "You see the ending balance? That's more than it's ever been." And he said, "Can you do this some more?" And I did it some more and doubled what we had. And so then I went to California. He sent me out to California to study with James and Helen J. And I became a feng shui consultant. And then that was the beginning. In that training, they presented me with Letter to Robin, which I'm sure y'all are all familiar with.
The
Letter
dowsing
to
book.
Robin.
Yes.
And as I created my own classes to teach people to be feng shui consultants, I taught them about dowsing, because there are questions that there are times when you need answers to questions that they can't give you, that you can't Google, and there's no other way to get the answer than to ask. And so that became one of my strongest allies, my pendulum and my dowsing rods. Um, uh, that answer that question?
Yeah, that did. Thank you. Yeah, that's I love how that evolved. So,
Yeah,
okay.
it was like, oh, and then years later, when I was out teaching architects about feng shui friendly design, um, I stepped off of the elevator in the hotel in San Diego, and there was like a collection of all these different brochures from all the restaurants and businesses around that are marketing to the tourists. And damned if that hot air balloon company didn't have their brochure right there. I took one with me. I have it in the folder where I from where I here it is.
Wow, your very first client. Or the thing that inspired
That's
your,
what inspired me. Yeah.
yeah, your inspiration.
Yeah, that was, I mean, how could I looked at that and just went, "Whoa, that's just too cool for school." So, of course, I had to have it.
Yeah, I think a lot of us who've experienced feng shui have amazing stories to tell too. Well, okay, so now we have a little overview of kind of what the year is, your background. So, yeah, I think people are probably very curious on how the with your handout, just sort of how that might affect us and what we can do about it. And for those of you that are on, Trisha said that she's going to kind of walk us through the process. We may not be able to actually, everybody may not be able to do theirs tonight, but you can get an understanding of what this process is. And she's going to have time for questions kind of at the end of this. So make notes.
Yeah, and you'll have the recording of the meeting, so you can always go back on it. And I strongly encourage you, save the recording where you can find it. I go back to mine all the time, and when I can't find it, it makes me crazy. So be sure to save it where you can find it.
Well, and we've got our Lone Star Dowsers YouTube, which
there you go.
Is wonderful, and she
You'll
puts
be
our
able to
recordings
find
up
it.
there.
Yay!
Yeah.
Okay, now for those of you who do not actually have a like a real live dowsing rod, I would make these with my Feng Shui and my architect students out of coat hangers. And if you just take a metal coat hanger and unbend the bottom and bend out the top and cut off and get a drinking straw and put it on here. And this is 5 inches. And this is way too long. I would take at least 2 inches off of this. So that it's like 5 and 10. Just saying, because when this thing swings around, I've got to not let it hit.
Yes.
Not only me, but the monitor. You know, like wham. So it's very nice when you're out in a field somewhere. It's kind of crowded at a desk. But anyway, coat hangers work. It's amazing. So it doesn't have to be copper, y'all. And it doesn't have to be giant. So just to let you know, if you wanted a dowsing rod just to play with, you can make one out of a coat hanger. So, are you ready for me to jump into this?
Sure.
Okay. I'm going to turn on the share so that you can see this.
This is
dowsing,
the handout that
this is the top of the handout that I sent you. And it shows the auspicious impact and the inauspicious impact for the year of the fire horse. And you know how to use a pendulum over such a wheel as this. And you do have the PDF for this. If you have not printed it out, you can whenever you get around to it. But meanwhile, we're going to go through all these elements of what is coming in with the year of the fire horse. The premise for this, and for you to create any of your own dowsing wheels, as you know, is as above, so below, which is symbolized in the sign of the cross. Duh, it took me years to figure out that this is, you grow up Catholic, you do the thing, you don't think about what it means. But what it means is activate what's in the head with what's in the heart, bring the energy from above to below, and then left to right is bringing physical form into manifestation, east to west as the sun goes. So that is the premise for being able to create such a wheel like this. So what you're going to want to do is print out a full-page satellite image of your environment from Google Earth. Now here, let me see if I can get to, will this go to page 2? Yeah. So this was the house I used to live in. It doesn't exist anymore. It's been scraped. But I got this off of Google Earth and just zoomed in and then did a screen capture and then blew that up and printed it out. So this, you can see the driveway here. The driveway is considered to be the mouth of energy for the property to enter for the energy to enter the property. The front door is the mouth by which the energy enters the structure. So when you are in any room, the door into that room is where the energy enters. And the reason I tell you that is because the energy falls in a place according to its reference to the energy entering. So you can either get yourself a picture of your property, or you can sketch out your floor plan. You could just as easily draw a big rectangle around this and mark the driveway and have your whole property. And that way you can check inside and outside. But it's if you're living in an apartment, you don't really have outside energy affecting you, or a condo or a
I was
townhouse.
just going to ask that. Yeah. How do you handle multifamily?
You just do your space.
Your front door.
Right, right.
Okay.
Okay. So what we're going to be doing here is you have to secure your permission to dowse. Can I, may I, should I dowse for information right now? And then your question is going to be, what areas of my environment do I need to attend to in the year of the fire horse?
Okay, so that's pretty important. We talked about our timing. So in the
Right,
year of the fire horse.
right.
Yes.
Well, this is in this year's energy. We're not talking about last year's snake or whatever comes next year. We're talking about in the year of the fire horse. In my environment. And what do I need to attend to? So then you use a ruler and one dowsing rod to go across the property. Now, where's my... See if I can give you a quick glance of that. No, I'm going to have to turn off the share. Okay, so here is the image of the property with the driveway. Hold on. I'm upside down and backwards. Driveway here. And you see that that's a driveway?
Okay.
Okay. So you would start there with, and I am right-handed, so I hold the dowsing rod in my left hand, and you could easily use your pendulum the same way. Just, hold your pendulum in your left hand, and you want to walk your consciousness from the driveway clockwise around the property. All right, is that backwards? Yes, this is clockwise.
Clockwise.
Okay, clockwise. Okay, and so when you are walking, I do it to start with a ruler. Start at the driveway and scan across, asking what areas do I need to attend to in the year of the fire horse. And as you get to a place where the pendulum responds, draw a line completely vertically from top to bottom so that you have it marked vertically. And you're going to go all the way around. And then you're going to do it horizontally. And you're going to go move your ruler like this. And anytime that your pendulum alerts, you draw a line. And then where the horizontal and the vertical lines cross, you're going to want to identify those intersections. Now, I don't know that you can see this, but I'll hold it up here and see if I can show it to you to where you can see it. 1, 2, 2, 1. I did this 3 different times because I wasn't really sure about what I was getting. Here we go. To be sure that I was doing this right and that it was going to work out. This is, where's the front? Here. The front door is down here.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know that you can see, there's a lot of lines. 1, 2, 3, 4 horizontal lines, and 1, 2, 3, 4 vertical lines. And so where they cross, there were so many intersections, I went, okay, so So I walked my fingers as if I was walking the property, and I said, is this an area that I need to tend to in the year of the fire horse? And the pendulum either was yes or no. And so if it was no, I kept walking. It's like I skipped this one and I skipped that one and I skipped this one. But these two did get that I needed to tend to them.
Okay,
And
I'm going to hit pause for just a second so we can be on the same page. So you did a grid, kind of the horizontal and the the vertical and then the horizontal. And what are the intersections?
the intersections are the points that you need to go check and see what is there.
Okay, well, so what's the pie shape with the 12 thing? Is that not, we don't overlay that on top of our floor plan?
You do. No, you don't overlay this on top of the floor plan. When you put your finger on one of those intersections that you have identified as something you need to tend to, then you dowse this chart to see what it is that
Oh,
you need
that's
to
the
attend to.
diagnostic energy. It's not necessarily,
This has nothing, this is only for you to dowse.
okay. Okay.
I figured y'all were familiar with these.
Yeah, but somehow in my head I was thinking this was like a I don't know, something super specific to I don't
Feng
know.
Shui.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. Like a
yeah,
different take on a
yeah,
bagua for
yeah.
this
No, no,
particular
no,
energy.
no.
Yeah.
This is speaking your language.
Okay.
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 So
Okay.
once you have identified, like the first time I did this on this one,
So you're
I
taking
got
a straight edge
10 intersections
and you're just following where you get a yes to draw a vertical line. And
where
then you
my dowsing rod alerted.
okay.
Then I drew a line across.
Okay.
And then when I'd go back, I had to move past that because the dowsing rod would always alert where I just drew that line. So, by the way, when you go back and start over, move just a little past that or it'll immediately go back through it. So move a little past that. And you can go to the edge and see it alert and then go back as you pass it on. But just remember that it's telling you this is a like a ley line.
Okay, so if we didn't use the dowsing rod, we used the pendulum and like a straight edge, a ruler or
Right,
something.
right.
So same thing. So we'd kind of move it and we'd be dowsing and asking the question, do I need to be alerted to something in this line of energy? And make a,
What areas of my environment do I need to attend to in the year of the fire horse?
okay,
Ask the same question over and over verbatim. Don't
okay,
change the rules of the game in the middle of the questions.
all right.
It'll just confuse the energy situation.
And then we just keep asking and drawing lines, both
The,
vertically and horizontally.
the second time I did this, I got lots fewer lines. I got 1, 2 vertical lines. And I got 1, 2, 3 horizontal lines. So then I asked, is this intersection something that I need to attend to for the year of the fire horse? And I would do that, my pendulum over my hand to get a yes or a no. Y'all know how to do that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'm just assuming y'all are dowsers. So if I need to clarify anything, just let me know. So after I had gone through this and checked each intersection, I only had 3 points. And then that was the day after I did this one. So then the next day I did this one, and then 2 days later I did this one. And on this one, where's the front door? Here. Okay, there's 1 horizontal line and 1 vertical line. And so I had 1 point right here. And that's the only point. And so then I doused the wheel to figure out which one this was and what I needed to do. Okay, so for if you do this and you get a whole bunch of things that you're supposed to take care of, do it again the next day and see what you get.
Mm-hmm.
You know, don't overwhelm yourself with, once you've activated your awareness, where attention goes, energy flows. So if you're thinking about it, it's activated. That's how, you stood in the grocery store line and felt people looking at you. You've looked at people and had them turn and look at you. You were a kid, you did it in church, remember? We all know that where attention goes, energy flows. At any party you ever wanted to flirt with any guy, you knew how to look at him and make them look at you. Who, me? Little old me? Anyway, this is where you go once you get the points you're going to deal with. And very interestingly, I had this same point on all three. And it is an inauspicious point, the year punishment.
Hi, I'm looking for a laser that treats all skin types, has no downtime,
Someone needs to mute themselves.
and works synergistically.
There's only you and me, Mary.
When would you like that delivered?
No, Jenny Carlo was unmuted. Okay.
Okay, now we're good. Okay, I see a hand here. What is this? Whose hand is this?
That was...
There we go. That's Terry. Can we unmute Terry? Here we go. Ask to unmute.
So why what I'm confused by is why the first day you did it there were all these lines and the next day there were fewer and the next day there were fewer.
Yeah, we've already had that conversation. You just weren't here. Because Mary and I were talking about this before we ever went on.
No, but why are there fewer? Why?
I will tell you.
Okay.
Hold on. Okay. The current metaphysical quantum physics explanation of time is that there is only now. And now. And now. And that all the decisions of all the humans and all the animals and all the things happening in the world affect the now. So when you do something on one day and then you do something on another day, even though you were doing the same thing, you will get different influences of people's choices and decisions that impact what's going on. And you wouldn't think that that would impact you inside of your home, but clearly it does.
Do you find it's always fewer, never more?
No, this is the first time that I have done. I created this for you guys.
Oh.
So this is the first time I have done, and the year of the fire horse is what, 24 hours old? It just started yesterday morning at 6 o'clock Houston time, I think, with the new moon. But there are no hard lines in time. You know, we're getting closer to Easter. We're getting closer to the spring equinox. There's no hard line of that's winter and that's spring. There's a shift in, it's kind of.
Well, I also wonder if maybe your attention to that allowed the energy, just the awareness, allowed
To
it
settle.
to shift. Mm-hmm.
Could be. Also could be I cleaned house over the weekend.
Yeah.
Oh, that vacuuming, taking out the trash helps. You know.
Yes.
So,
Yeah, exactly.
I will say it's always better when it's clean. Every woman on the planet loves coming into a clean house.
Oh, very true. I
It's
feel like I've had that urge to just seriously clean for weeks now. Yeah.
Yes. And that is not going to go away.
Yeah.
There's a whole lot more to that information, but it's not going to go away. Stuff, too much stuff. I can't run carrying all this stuff. So,
someone's saying they can't walk the property.
but can't.
If
you get a few points? If you say you get a few points, can sometimes one point be addressed that corrects the others? So, would you ask? There is a point to correct all, and if yes, how many intersections points will this correct Okay. I can do this with houses in London. I don't have to literally walk the property. I am walking entanglement, remote viewing. These are words y'all are familiar with? Yes?
Yes.
Okay, so you can, this literally allows you to walk the property. The word plan, floor plan, a plan for a building that's going to be built, a blueprint plan. The word plan comes from the French, meaning a drawing on the ground on a flat plane that is viewed from high above. Okay? These were created for the Gothic cathedrals. And the first thing they had to do to build a Gothic cathedral was build a viewing platform, because they had to have a God's eye view, not a bird's eye view. This is a divine thing. So when you take a thought out of your mind and put it on paper on a level plane, you have set it out to view for you as creator.
Yeah. And there was a question about two-story dwellings.
Two-story dwellings. Always excellent. Okay. Two-story dwellings. You deal with it like cake, where you've got a two-layer cake, and you deal with each layer one at a time. When you go up the stairs, where the stairs land is how the energy moves into that second level. And so that is the mouth of energy. So if it's in the middle, it's real interesting, but we haven't gotten into the bagua of feng shui, so y'all don't have to worry about that. Just get your cross lines for the second floor's plan or the third floor's plan, and check all your intersection points. The nodal points is where the action happens. When two influences join, then you have a node, a knot of where the energy comes together. If you're familiar with Hecate, the goddess of crossroads, no?
I've heard of her. I did not know she was the goddess of crossroads. That's
She's
interesting.
the goddess of magic. And you would know her by her. She's also the triple goddess, the maiden mother crone. You'd know her by her dogs and keys. And the fact that she is known by keys, I've got a statue of her right behind me in that corner, right there. The fact that she is known by her keys tells you that she is a goddess that came into being once metal had been introduced to humanity, and humans had been taught how to smith metal. Gods before that, like Artemis and Apollo, their weapon was a bow and arrow. All wood, no metal. So when you get ancient things that don't have metal, then that's really ancient and pre flood, pre-diluvian. When they have metal, it's post-diluvian, so it's more recent. The flood was 10,500 years ago. So at least
back to our nodal points.
Okay, thank you. I do have a tendency to think of all kinds of stuff I should be sharing. Okay, back to your nodal points. So once you get down to where you've got all these crisscrosses, if you will take your fingers and walk to the nodal points on the paper and say, is this an area that I need to tend to the energy for the year of the fire horse, and then dowse for a yes or no answer. Okay? Is that clear?
Yes.
Okay. Is this another question? She said to walk the perimeter from the front door. Where does that come into the mix? Before you use the ruler? Is there something above that I needed to tend to? If an apartment is connected to other apartments, just do what's in your floor plan.
Yeah, don't worry about if you're on the second floor, the third floor, the first
Yeah,
floor,
just do, I'm on the second floor. Just do your space.
your space. Yeah.
Okay, so Terry, you have another question? No? Okay.
Okay. Um,
Oh, Claudia does. Okay.
Yes. Do you hear me?
Yeah.
Hi. So when you do the second floor, do you do that from outside, starting in the garage in the same way?
No, you start from
Or,
where you entered at the top of the stairs at the landing.
but let's say it's left and right. How do you do that?
are
Let's
you
say
in
the
a house
stairs
or
are
an
in the
apartment?
middle.
Okay. You have the whole floor, right? You have the plan for the whole floor.
Uh-huh.
If your stairs are in the middle and you come up and you hit a wall and you have to go left or right, then the energy is going to have to decide to go left and right.
Yeah, but how do you do the grid thing?
I know. I'm trying to, I'm thinking this through.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Excuse me. Think about which way you go most often. Follow the path that the energy would take. The energy is going to come up to the second floor. Is it going to always go to the room on the right? Is it going to always go to the area on the left? Which is it going to go to the most? And that's the, unless it's equal split, in which case start at the front of the house wall and go back and left and right.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
I don't know how to, I want to unraise my hand, but I don't remember how I raised it. I'm
Oh,
sorry.
I think it's gone.
Okay, I think you did it. All right.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, so are you walking the perimeter clockwise or hold your pendulum or rods until it moves and then mark the spot on the map? Okay, so where did I set this thing down?
If I'm understanding, you don't even have to walk physically. We're just really doing this all with the plans.
Right, you're on your piece of paper only.
Correct. Yeah.
And when I say walk the perimeter, walk with your fingers. You're projecting your consciousness into the plan, into the plane of existence.
Okay. And we're starting clockwise, doing
Always
horizontal, doing the horizontal things, and then we do the same thing with the vertical.
The vertical first. Father, son, think of the sign of the cross. Top down, left, right.
How auspicious it's Ash Wednesday.
I know, right? And none of our foreheads are marked, right? That's okay. We thought about it. All right. So when you get down to where you have nodes marked, then you're going to number them in a clockwise direction, starting at your front door. And then you're going to dowse the chart. And when you dowse the chart, each of these little things at the bottom of the chart has a name. And the names have like 2 words. And those 2, I think they all have 2 words, that put their initials next to the nodes. So you don't have to write the whole thing out. You can just put their initials there. Okay, so let me turn this back to this guy. See how they all have
Yeah.
Grand Duke, the Baron, Golden Lock, Strategic Plans. Horse in Headlights, I just did HH. You know,
So
just do it so you remember.
Are these different
Energies.
yes.
These are what is activated for the year of the fire horse.
Okay.
And the ones on the green side are auspicious. And the ones on the red side are inauspicious. Except for these 2 with the little stars next to them. These are spiritual influences. So it's neither auspicious nor inauspicious. It's a spiritual influence.
Okay.
Okay? So let us talk about the energies that you're going to be dealing with, okay?
Yes, please.
The Grand Duke's arrival. Okay, the Grand Duke is the planet Jupiter, the biggest planet in our solar system. And it is basically Santa Claus has come to your house. If you get the Grand Duke, it's party time. Luck has landed, success is assured, you cannot fail. Vision, passion, initiative, strategy, act without permission, ask forgiveness later. Just do it. I saw a reel the other day where a guy was wanting to work at the port authority, and he just went to the place, and a lady opened up the door, and he went in and he said, "I'm the new office manager for the port authority." And she said, "Oh, I didn't know you were coming." And she opens up, lets him in. "Here's your desk. Would you like coffee? Let me get you the paperwork," and puts him to work. And later on that afternoon, the manager came in and he said, "Who are you and what are you doing here?" And the guy said, "I wanted to work here. I've been working here all day. I've been doing really great. Ask everybody in the office. I've already started learning the program. Don't you want to keep me?" And the guy said, "Yeah." And he did. Well, I'd have been mortified to do that. Just do it. Destiny favors the bold. So ask for forgiveness later. Enhance support with wood and water. Okay, wood and water can be anything made out of wood, or the color of wood, which is green. So, I mean, you could have a chair. You could have a potted plant. You could buy yourself a pot of tulips and put them in a vase, and there you'd have water and you'd have wood, because any growing plant is wood. Does that make sense? You just don't want to put that in the middle of the floor. You know, it depends on where the spot is. So this is the Grand Duke. The Baron is one of the spiritual lessons. Spiritual lessons that sting but need to be learned. Clean deeply here. Learn and move on. Enhance the support with earth and metal. You know, sometimes you just have to learn the lesson and move on. Like if you jump somebody's car battery with your car battery to help them start their car, and the next day you go out to start your car and your battery's dead, the lesson learned is they don't make batteries like they used to anymore. And if they last 2 years, you're doing really good. Get a subscription to AAA. They'll bring you a battery, install it, take care of the problem. So it's a lesson that stings, but needs to be learned. Does that make sense?
Yes. Do we want to talk about the elements for a minute?
The earth and metal here?
Right. Well, you and I talked about
all
doing
5
this.
elements. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. In the Chinese way of looking at things, it's not air, earth, fire, and water. It is air, although air is feng in feng shui, and shui is water. Air is invisible, but it can affect you. And we in Houston know that hurricanes can come in and you don't see the hurricane, you see the damage the wind does. So just because you can't see it doesn't mean it can't affect you. Wood and water and earth and metal and fire are your 5 elements. Wood is anything that grows. That can be paper, that can be trees, that can be lettuce, it can be African violets, it can be mold or moss or anything. It can be pencils, it can be paper, it can be bamboo flooring, any kind of wood. If it looks like wood, like what's the stuff called? Pergola? No,
Right, or the vinyl tile
yeah,
or ceramic tile that looks like wood.
right, or anything from IKEA that's, particle board and all that counts as wood. And things that are tall and vertical, like tree trunks, vertical stripes in a pattern, or on curtains. it counts as wood. And I was telling Mary that I have a handout that I can get to you guys about the 5 elements in Feng Shui and what they are, and what, like a list of all the different examples of each of these. Like, what is earth? Earth is anything that comes out of the earth. So it's sand and charcoal and granite and bricks and terracotta and all your crystals, but not metal. Metal, if you were to hammer crystals, you would get sand. But if you were to hammer metal, you would get a ribbon. So metal is not earth. Metal is metal. Metal is the divine element of creativity, interestingly enough. And then we're all familiar with water. And water has its 3 phases. So it doesn't matter if it's just blue, or it's a watercolor painting, or it's plexiglass that looks like water in the bottom of a vase of fake flowers, or a bowl of goldfish. It doesn't matter. It can be your pet's bowl. It can be just any water. That help?
Yeah.
All
So
right.
the wood, the metal, the water,
Wood, and then there's fire.
fire.
The
The obvious one.
Yeah,
Okay.
we all know about fire. Okay, so there's
So would that be the color red?
Yes, red, orange, not the yellow of sulfur, but the gold of a candle flame, and the blue that you see on a gas stove.
What about pink?
Pink. Pink is a very special. Pink is heartwarming fire. There's raging red fire. You've seen the lips. Those are women who have something to say and intend to be heard. And then there's the soft pink. It's a different story. But it honors the heart. Pink always honors the heart. So I'm wearing ruby earrings and a ruby ring and obsidian for the water. See the black for the dark of the moon, and the turquoise for the Wednesday.
So is black considered water?
Yes.
Okay.
The deepest part of the ocean where the sun can't shine, the water looks black. Shallow water is pale swimming pool blue. First time I drove into Miami with my mother, I was 17, and I looked across the bay and said, how much chlorine do they have to put in this? I thought she was going to wreck the car. I had only seen Galveston Bay, which is brown and muddy. How did they get that whole expanse to be clear blue? I was amazed.
Okay. Will you talk about metal for a minute?
Metal. Okay. Metal is children and creativity and benefactors and angels. Metal is the element of the divine, of the creator and the creative part in humans. So metal can be found in, iron, steel, aluminum, gold, silver, copper, platinum, all those things. Rusty stuff is unstable and deteriorating. Not an energy you want to have in your space. Just like you don't want to have rotten food in your kitchen on the counter.
What about the color rust?
The color rust is fine.
Okay.
Consider it sienna.
So do you consider that metal or earth?
Rust itself is iron or iron oxide. So it is iron mixed with air, but it is iron. And so if you were to smash it with a stone, it would be ribbon. It would not be It would not be sand. If
I
you were
was
to
just talking about the paint color
the paint color,
of rust. Yeah.
the paint color of rust, if you look at it as sienna, then it's earth. If you look at it as literally rust, then it's metal.
Okay.
It comes from your point of view.
Okay. Got it. All right. I think we've got our elements. So we can go back to your thank you. To your energies.
Okay, so then we have the golden lock. The golden lock energy acts to protect your assets and earn rewards. It's like getting an identification protection from people who save you from having people steal your identity. You know, insurance kind of stuff, protectors, security. Act to protect your assets and you will earn rewards. So produce results that speak for themselves. When you get the golden lock and you're taking action, if you, like that guy who took over the office, if you can say, hey, you know, I'm the top salesman, I just went out this morning and sold 6 cars, you know, then you've got the results. You don't have to worry about anything else. If you can do it, you're doing it. They can't argue with the fact that you can't do it because you've already done it. So that is produce results that speak for themselves. So if you're looking at stepping into something new for the year of the fire horse, produce results that speak for themselves. Enhance your support for that with earth and metal. Earth, that can be cement, that can be bricks, that can be soil, that can be gemstones, that can be salt, and again, metal. You could have a pretty metal pot that's been painted with I'm trying to remember what those things are called. They're blue with white flecks on it. You know what I'm talking about?
Like the tin.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
What is that stuff called that's blue with the white flecks?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. That's not gonna, the word's not gonna come.
Anyway, you know what I'm talking about.
Yes.
So I mean, it doesn't have to be that you lay down a chunk of aluminum foil. Although it can be if you need to tuck away a little metal in a place where you don't want something to be seen. It could also be you drop a coin or two in there, like in the inside of your sofa if necessary.
Ah, okay, coins. All right.
Wind chimes. They come in metal, but they also come in like bamboo, and they come in glass. And I had slices of geodes as wind chimes until they shattered in a hurricane one time. But anyway, then there's strategic plans. If you get strategic plans up here on this one, then you need to implement your strategy and not spontaneity. You need to think it through. Literally write down the plan. If it's in writing, it's 93% guaranteed to manifest. Same for any plan, whether it's a floor plan or a project plan or a business plan. If you write it down, it's 93% guaranteed to manifest. Just like if you take a list to the grocery store. Self-directed focus and vision. You create the vision, you create the focus, you decided you were going to do this. So like if you're going to have, I don't know, say you're going to have a dinner party and you're going to invite 3 friends so that there'll be 4 people at the table. And you call them up and you invite them and you tell them it's going to be next Saturday and we're going to do this and I'm going to serve that, and you decide exactly what you're going to serve and what the theme is going to be. And one of the people tells you, I've got plans that day. Fail fast and then correct the course. Say, that's okay, we'll do it again another time, and invite another friend. So you still have your 4. Fail fast. You're going to fail. Failure is great. It tells you what not to do. So enhance that support with fire and earth. Each one of these elements creates another element and stops or prevents another. So wood feeds water. Water douses fire, but water feeds wood, but water douses fire. Wood feeds fire, but it drinks the water. Earth dams the water and smothers the fire. Metal digs the earth and condenses the water. The water feeds the wood and rusts the metal. So everything interacts as we know. If you get the general star, this one right here, this is the executive power of decisiveness. Take command and do it. Leadership brings followers. Do not be mealy-mouthed and indecisive. Make a damn decision. Now, in this instant, in the moment that it comes up, do not put it off. I'll think about it tomorrow. Well, I don't know, maybe it'd be a good idea if we tried this. No. Executive power of decisiveness. This is the general star. Step up and lead the way. People will follow you. Enhance the support with wood and fire. Then the horse in the headlights is the one right in the middle between auspicious and inauspicious. A horse standing still is a dead horse. Horses are prey, eyes on the side of the head to see predators. Indecision brings doom and destruction. Remove fascinators and physical limits. Fascinators are things you cannot look past. So whether that's a television or your phone or anything that is taking your attention and holding you back, enhance the support with fire and wood. The year punishment, self-doubt and overthinking freeze forward progress. And we all have self-doubt and overthinking. Look forward only. When a horse is on a full-blown run, if it looks over its shoulder at what's chasing it, it's dead. A horse with a broken leg is dead. Looking back blocks forward movement. Remove reminders of sorrow, guilt, or loss. Now, you have reminders of sorrow, guilt, and loss in your life. And I will say, this is the one that I got. And in the place where it's marked, I have a photograph of my best friend who died. And I'm still sad about that. And it's been 7 years. So where it says remove that reminder, I can put that in a photo album instead of a frame on my table. You understand how that works? You don't have to give it up. You just have to keep yourself in a positive energy, because that sorrow it'll take its toll. Then you have 3 punishments. Triple karmic justice from delayed decisions. Triple karmic justice from delayed decisions. Well, I don't know what to do about that. This is why you have clutter. You don't want to decide. Either resolve the challenges or adapt to a new situation. Do not pay to store things because you don't want to decide. Remove change resistant elements or thoughts. Take action. Get a friend to help you if you have to. Enhance with wood and fire. Build a bonfire out back. Burn it all down. You'll be amazed. If your house burned down,
time to get rid of those old journals.
Oh God, I have journals dating back. I'm sure someone is gonna want to read that. Okay, sword edge. Be mindful of what you say, but say what you mean. This is that double-edged sword that you can slice off people's heads with, but also your arm. You gotta be mindful of what you say, but say what you mean. Some people will be offended and thereby cut off from you. Say it anyway. Don't try to please everyone. Go for what you know and feel is the best solution. Remove hangers on. We call them dingleberries. Let them go physically, mentally, and emotionally. Let them go. Sing the Elsa song. Bye-bye. You know, if you have someone that has political differences from you, say what you mean. Period. They can either respect that you have a different opinion or not. And then you need to know if they're going to allow you to disagree with them. If they're not going to allow you to disagree with them, well, bye-bye. You are not controlled by other people's opinions. And then there is the Crusade Star, which is another one with an asterisk. This is where you transform your ambition to advocacy, where leadership serves others, the universe fights beside you. Your spiritual legacy enhances humanity. Anything you can do to serve humanity, the universe will fight beside you. Now, it may not fight in the way that you'd like it to fight. You don't even have to know what it's doing in the background or underground or wherever. You just, when you're serving humanity, things are gonna, and you have this star, and you're advocating for others, you're gonna find support you didn't even know you needed. Enhance it with metal and water. Hidden corpse, kind of an icky sounding thing, but this is stuffed emotions that must be released. They're just rotting inside of you. Honor all grief. Grief is the price you pay to love. And so it's a good thing because it's love that doesn't have anywhere to go anymore. But it does. It just has to go to an alternate plane of existence. Clear all resentment harbored in possessions as that energy acts to rein in progress and will hold you back. Resentment is like tying yourself in straps and chains. You're not going forward if you resent anything. Enhance with earth and metal. Okay. So, are there any questions?
Yeah. So if you don't mind, when you did your home and you
Yep.
got the 3 different answers and the final answers were what, 2 or 3?
One. The final one was just year punishment. This self-doubt and overthinking. My whole thing for this year of the fire horse has been quit doubting myself. Because, you know, they burn witches. But, you know, I have probably burned many, many times in many, many lifetimes. And yet, here we are. So what's the problem? So you will notice if you follow me on Facebook or you read my monthly magazine or you hear me talk that I'm pretty much putting it out there. I have tremendous awareness of the mysteries and the truths and what is really going on in most symbolism, and I'm putting it out there. So I'm being really brave. Or I've been told, you know, you need to tone it down. You speak with such authority. And just recently I realized that the root word of authority is author. Wait a minute. I literally wrote the book. I wrote 40 books now. So yeah, I have authority. I can speak with authority. I have people question, why do you always speak with authority? Well, because I'm sure of what I speak about. Now that doesn't mean I can't be wrong, but I love to learn new stuff. So if you know information that will help me to know even more, I'd be delighted to hear about it.
Okay, so yours was your punishment. So let's see. So that was about removing the reminders of sorrow and guilt, which you talked about with your friend who had
Right.
passed. And then enhance with wooden fire. So, like, what would be an example of you?
I went and got tulips, which are shaped like flames. They are red and pink, and I have them in a um, red vase. Wood is the tulips, and fire is the red.
Okay. Are they real tulips?
They're silk.
Oh, silk tulips. Okay, so it's not like you need to replace them. Yeah. So they'll be there for the duration of this
Year.
fire horse year.
Right. Well, come after, tulips only grow in the first part of the year. When you get to summer, they're going to go to roses, and then they're going to go to Gerbera daisies or mums, and then poinsettias, because you got to keep the energy fresh.
Ah, so just because you get something that's the right color and the right element doesn't mean that it stays there. You can need to
Just
think
like
about
you
it
change your
seasonally.
underwear every day, hopefully. You got to keep the energies fresh. You've taken down your Christmas wreath, right?
Yes, I have.
So I have a wreath of pink peonies on my front door, and I took down my Valentine's Day banner on Sunday and put up "Welcome Spring," because every day when I walk by a friend's house who has a pumpkin that melted and is literally like a tablecloth, and I just go, God have mercy! I bet you still have your Christmas tree up too. Yes.
There might be some imbalance happening there.
Right, right. You have to live in the now.
Yeah.
And every
Okay.
day it has to be fresh. And so I fed you yesterday and you're hungry again today. You know.
Okay. Well, I tried to do this earlier, but I did I did a little differently. But some of the things that showed up, and I will do it correctly. But I guess I would be curious. There was one. There was a Grand Duke, a hidden court,
Woo.
a baron, and a golden lock.
Okay,
Um,
let me ask, what is your Chinese zodiac sign?
I am rabbit.
Me too. I'm a metal rabbit. Are you a metal rabbit?
No. I'm either water or wood. Uh,
Okay, so I was born in January of 52, which means I go with 51, which is how I'm a rabbit. So 12 plus 51 would be 63.
hmm
Is that you?
Yeah,
So metal generates water, so you would be water.
water. Okay.
Yeah. So you are very attuned to emotions.
So so water rabbit this year. So yeah, so I've got those four things.
So the Grand Duke means whatever you decide to start this year, you can't fail. Go for it. Destiny favors the bold. Ask forgiveness, not permission. Just do it. You got this. The Grand Duke is standing beside you, supporting everything you're doing.
Well, hopefully with this new version that I'm doing, that'll still be in there. But
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
the okay, and then the hidden corpse.
So, do you want to discuss that in front of God and everybody?
Um, I don't have to get too detailed. But
True. We
but
all have stuffed emotions.
yeah, definitely grief and yeah, just a lot. The so not only I guess doing another layer of the emotional work, but I guess
Truly.
any looking around and seeing if I have any possessions that maybe have to do with resentment.
They're not necessarily possessions. It's resentment inside of your heart.
Okay, so it's not necessarily.
Clear all resentments. If you have physical things that symbolize resentment and make you think resentment and make you feel resentment every time you look at them, you need to learn my big sister's favorite word, which is fwenge, which is what you say as you throw it out the door.
Okay.
Fwenge! That's out of here. But other than that, it's in your heart.
Okay.
If you have resentment in your heart and you do not want to tell the person that you resent about it, or they're gone and you can't tell them about it, then you need to sit down and have a talk with yourself. And I said to myself, self, this resentment is holding me back. Because resent means you send back emotions to the past. And if you're looking over your shoulder to the past, you're not going forward. And it will hold you back. So, and I said to myself, self, what am I doing with this? This is not serving me. I need to say, that person had their reasons for doing what they did, and I have my reasons for doing what I did, and just let it go. I got other stuff to do, other stuff to carry. This is not going with me into the future. Bye-bye. I will tell you that when my husband decided to divorce me in 2010, I think it was, I didn't talk to him or see him. I was gone, living another life. I wrote a bunch of books. I got another degree, got a master's degree. I got a PhD. I was off blowing and going, doing stuff. And then he got really sick. He was always sick. But he wanted to call me before he died. It was on his bucket list, and I was the last thing to cross off of his bucket list. And he called me, and I answered the phone, and I said hello, and he said, hi. And I said, who is this? I didn't even recognize his voice. Would you say I had let it go? He died 2 weeks later on my birthday. And I figured, if you needed to die on my birthday to be comfortable going, good for you. Good on you. Bye-bye. And this year, my daughter, his youngest daughter, had gone to the Arboretum to walk through the woods and have a cup of coffee and remember her dad. And so she came here afterwards to have lunch with me because it was my birthday. And I said something about, so what were you doing wandering in the woods? And she said, well, he died today. And I went, oh. I let it go, y'all. I let it go. Married to the man for 30 years.
Wow. That is definitely an exercise in letting it go.
You just have to go take care of you. If you're focused on you and where you're going and what you're building and what you're doing and your vision and your passion, you ain't got time for that nonsense. You know what I mean, Jelly Bean?
I think we all need to put that on repeat.
Fortunately, you have this as a recording.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And let's see what enamel wear. That is exactly what. Thank you, Joanne.
Yeah.
That's exactly what that blue stuff is called.
Yeah.
I have 5 crossing to attend to. 3 of the 5 are all on the same chart. Year punishment. Whoa! And they're in different places in your environment. Whoa! Time to. Let's see. That would be looking forward only. That means you got stuff that's holding you back. That's like nailing one of your feet to the ground. Let it go. Run wild and free, little pony.
Yeah, and get rid of your reminders of that sorrow and that guilt or the loss.
When horses are traumatized, they remember. And I know that, like, if they're walking around in a corral and a grocery bag, an empty grocery bag blows across the dirt, it'll freak them out. It will totally freak them out. Something new in their environment. You need to not be freaked out by something new in your environment. Look at it with your forward-facing eyes and figure out what it is and what good it does to you And if it doesn't do you any good, pick up that empty grocery bag and put it in the trash.
Yeah, she's saying that she has been hoarding and doesn't really let go of anything, and that needs to change.
Oh, Nancy, you will do better if you can get a body double, if you can get a person to come sit with you. Because when you put two brains together, you have twice the thought power and you have twice the courage. So if you can get a friend to come over and help you, just be with you. They don't have to go through the stuff. You can put it in the trash bag. They can just be with you. They can be in charge of the music. They can be in charge of keeping the iced tea coming. They can be in charge of setting the timer. And when I teach people about taking care of clutter, I tell them, okay, in the morning, between 10 and 12, set a timer for 30 minutes. And then go to one shelf. Like, see this bookcase behind me? One shelf. Take everything out, clean the surface, then pick up each thing one at a time and either put it in the keep,
Trash or donate.
yeah. The thing about donate, if it's not gone within 24 hours, it goes to trash. So all the things that I would take off of that bookshelf, as if I would, I have gone in the last 12 years, I have gone through 9 moves. And I moved from a 3-bedroom house into a 750 square foot apartment. So my library was I gave away 100 boxes of books. Very hard for me. Very hard. and still I'm giving away. If you don't, like, I have clothes that I'll put it on and take it off. You know how you have clothes you put on and take off, put on and take off. Put it in the bag to go to Goodwill. And weekly I go to the Goodwill donation at the corner. Here you go. Here you go.
Wow, that's a great practice to get into. Does anybody else have any questions?
Let's see.
Terry's got
Terry.
a hand raised.
Yes, Terry.
And so the chart is only for this year, the year of the fire horse.
Yes.
Do you make a chart? Do you make a new chart every year?
I just made one for this meeting.
Because we're special.
Because y'all asked. The
Because
thing
I
is,
asked, yeah.
if you ask, the answer is yes. So ask me again next year.
Okay. And I would like to request, you talked about sending us a list, the list of all of the representations of the different elements, like stripes for
How
wood.
much time have we got? Let me show you what this is. This is a thing that I created to help people understand Feng Shui. Where do I have that Feng Shui graphics? Where's my Feng Shui my Bagua handout is, why don't I just search? Bagua, no space, handout. PDF. There
So
it is.
this really kind of supersedes the Bagua is what it.
Well, this is a 2-page thing.
Well, our energy, our wheel energy.
This shows you the Bagua and how it overlays. Like, I'm standing in the door in this picture, and this gray area here is these 2 gray areas, and these 3 yellow areas are these 3 yellow areas. These 2 green are these 2 green, and here's the red, and here's the blue. So it overlays from the door or the mouth of the driveway. Or
that's showing just one room. So it's obviously for each room, but also for the entire apartment or home.
Also your desktop. Also your computer screen.
Yeah, somebody
and
had
a
a question
bookcase
about
is from the
desktop.
bottom up. And so if you're doing a a like a group of pictures on the wall, then you would start at the floor and go up. Hold on, let me see. There's another one that I wanted to.
So
that I was,
every surface, every plane of existence
exactly,
can be
every
treated.
plane of existence. Let me see. Do I have this as a PDF? I know I do. Dogwa 5 elements. No.
Joanne says, once I have my cross points and have identified that I need to attend to this area, if I get the year of punishment, does it only apply to that spot or the room?
It applies to that spot.
So she would need to address kind of whatever the
What is in that spot? If she was God looking down, what was in that spot?
All right. So the year of punishment, self-doubt and overthinking, freeze forward progress, look forward only. So I guess anything that would make her look back,
Remember, regret,
the
resent,
sorrow, the guilt.
and we're in Mercury retrograde, so of course it is the season for that. This is the chart of the 5 elements. It shows you their celestial animal and examples that you can use. What creates what controls what directions you're dealing with. If you're familiar with correspondences in magic, this is the PDF I was talking to you about. Here's the explanation of the green dragon, which is wood, and the red phoenix, and the golden cicada, and all of them. Where is the other page? 2, 3, 4. Why does this say 2 and not 1? Oh, here's 1. And where's, oh, there's 2. That's 2. This is so it has both the information about the elements and the bagua.
Okay. And you're going to email that to me, and I'm going to get it to Emily, and we're going to send it out to with the replay. So just to kind of take this one step further, so the year of the punishment, not only would she, do her internal work and remove those reminders. So if she would enhance with wood and fire, so like you said, you had the
red vase of tulips,
red vase and the tulips. So she could.
She could also have that. She could put if you've got a little a place there that's not in the middle of the floor. If it's in the middle of the floor, you got wood there, because the floor is generally wood, right?
The foundation, yeah. Generally, I'm gonna say generally depends on.
And under that is cement, But
Right.
if you have wood floors, you've got wood. If you've got just open floor, you could put down a little rug that maybe has flowers on it, or maybe
Or whatever colors
daisies
the wood.
are shaped like little suns, or stars. Stars are fire. I like stars.
Stripes. Wasn't she?
That's wood. Yeah.
Wood. Yeah.
Yeah.
So. Yeah. Wow. That's a
All
lot of
kinds of choices.
information. Lots
Yes.
of really good things. I think we're going to have to all go and do our charts, and then I'm sure there'll probably be more questions later. But
You have my email address.
Okay, so people can email you with questions. And what other things do you offer, Trisha? Just so people can do you do individual?
The last Sunday of every month I do a practical magic workshop, and this Sunday, the 22nd, I'm doing a workshop on amulets and protectors, because in these days we need all the protection we can get for ourselves and our families. And so that is this Sunday. I do it via Zoom, 1:30 to 3, Sunday afternoon. And next month it's plants and trees for spring. How we do. And there's a new one every month, the last Sunday of the month. I teach classes. I have a class that's called The Mystery Reveals, Friday at noon. And we go through the ancient wisdom. We've gone through the Secret Doctrine and Isis Unveiled and all of Zechariah Sitchin's books. We're about to start The Secret Teachings of All the Ages by Manly P. Hall. And that will be in April. And so if you get my monthly magazine, you would be informed about the workshops and the classes.
So does someone just email you and say, please subscribe me to your monthly magazine?
If they go to Tomorrow's Key, they will
Okay.
see a link to go subscribe to the magazine.
Okay, because that's your website, tomorrowskey.com, right?
.com. Yep.
Yes. Okay. Do you do feng shui consultations?
I do feng shui consultations, and I can do them virtually as well as in person. I do energy clearings. If you have someone die in your home, depending on their manner of death, it's one thing that your mom passes away in her bed in your house. It's another thing that somebody has their head blown off and there's brains all over the walls. That's not something you should do. If you've had that happen, you call me. We'll talk. That's a horrific thing to deal with, and the energy splatter, it goes through generations. So yeah, that definitely needs energies clearing. I have done energy workshops seasonally, like spring, summer, winter, fall, so that you know what to do, and some rituals and some cooking and some crafting, and it's fun. We used to do it where people would come to my place and we would do all this cool stuff. But now we do it virtually because I've got people all over the world that want to do these classes. So I've changed it so that we can do it from wherever you are, whether that's in Quito,
Ecuador.
Quito,
That's
Ecuador,
right. We have
Australia.
to our person tuning in from Ecuador tonight.
I got people in Northern Ireland and Belgium and Philippines and, so Canada.
We've got our Australian crew
Yeah,
on here.
the virtual world is great. God, I love technology.
Yeah. And it's nice to be able to meet in person as well, too.
It is.
Well, I know we could keep going, but we are at our time. So thank you so much, Trisha. This has been wonderful. And
Thanks for inviting me.
We appreciate that. And it's going to be a juicy replay. Lots of really great information that we're going to need to, I think, listen to again. And okay, a parting advice for the year of the fire horse.
Well, I've got Gail asking, what about the crystals that we want to amplify our intentions? I would tell you that your crystals are conscious and they are aware of you and they choose to be with you or they would be gone. As you know, crystals can just disappear. Where did that thing go? And they do. So when you want to decide which crystals you want to have with you to amplify your intentions, hold it in your hand and feel it. And you'll know which is the one that you want to use. Clear quartz always works, but your birthstone may be something that you really resonate with, or it may not be it for this year. So I would ask the crystal, douse over it. Is this the crystal I need to be using for the energy of the year this week, today? Get it. It may be different for tomorrow, just like your underwear may be different for tomorrow. Keep it fresh, ladies.
All right. Thank you so much.
My pleasure. Thanks, everybody.